Ah, boy. Oh, boy. If I say the wrong thing here, I will die. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Casual Commentators YouTube channel. I don't know if I will make this into a podcast episode. I might. There's a good chance. There's a solid chance that I might. But I'd like to discuss with you a topic that it's been on my mind for a couple days now. And it was, if you follow our Instagram, you will sort of see where I'm going with this. And obviously, the title of this video is going to give away the subject matter. But I'd like to discuss real quick, just real quick video about diversity in superhero films. I could have extended this to all films in general, but I think just because the niche of this podcast is, it's mostly, it's actually not. We haven't really done. It was supposed to be. Somewhat exclusive to the superhero genre. We've obviously not done that at all. But diversity in superhero films is a topic that has been pushed since 2008 when Iron Man was released. That was a claim. I don't know if that's when the big push was started, but I'm fairly certain that people back in 2008 were like, man, I wish we had some females on the big screen. That sort of idea and momentum for that movement of getting women and LGBTQ characters onto the screen and having that representation has evolved and has gained a hell of a lot of momentum in the past decade to the point where it's breaking apart a little bit. And let me explain when I say breaking apart. So if you've looked on our Instagram, you saw that there was a photo posted a couple days ago about a rumor where Loki, Tom Hiddleston's character, would be, I think it was, I'm not sure if it was gay or bisexual, but there was a rumor that in the Disney Plus streaming services show, because he has his own show on there, he'd be playing a gay character or something other than straight is what it was. It's on our Instagram. Go follow. Go check out the photo for the exact wording. But it was something other than straight. And I want to say, real quick, before we get any further into this. Oh look, you can't see it obviously because this is a video. But I'm recording on my phone and the button is right there. That is so crazy. iPhones, gotta love them. But I want to state real quick, I am a fan of representation. I'm a huge fan of diversity. I think that it represents a lot of really good, interesting storytelling, new ways to tell a story, new perspectives. I think that it is very important to have that representation so that different groups can relate to these characters and can project themselves into them, And I think that it's a role model thing as well. If you have these characters and kids are young, or they're young and they're figuring things out, and they see this character and they're like, man, I want to be that because that person sort of embodies a lot of the qualities that I feel. I mean, that's why a lot of people love Spider-Man. Spider-Man's the kid, he's Peter Parker, he's a high schooler, he's sort of the nerdy guy, gets bullied, he's awkward. A lot of people relate to that. That's why he's so popular. That sort of fundamental can be extrapolated to the point where every sort of group is represented and they get the spotlight and they can relate and they can say that this is our guy. I know the most recent Miss Marvel adaptation, Kamala Khan, she's a Pakistani Miss Marvel. I want to say, I'm not sure if she's straight. I don't want to say that she's bisexual or anything other than that, but I think that she is. I'll double check after this video and see. I probably won't, but it's Pakistan. That's representation. It's a diversity. It's a minority that gets to have a superhero to say, hey, this is, thankfully now we're represented. I'm a huge fan of that. I really am. Because it brings people together. It's unity, That's the job. Well, that's not the job. I'll retract that claim and move on with this video. But here's my problem. And here's why this video is titled The Problem with Diversity in Superhero Films. Is there is a point where it becomes inauthentic. There is a point where it's diversity simply for diversity's sake, as opposed to being an integral part of a character, something that motivates them, something that is a part of them, rather than just, you know, a little... Let me use an analogy. That I just thought of. So, a good, well-written character that is either a minority, different sexuality, something like that, that's the cake right there. That's the full cake. You've got the ingredients, and then you make the cake, and the diversity is in the cake. But there's some situations where the cake's made, and the diversity is just the frosting on top, almost an afterthought, to the point where it's not really something that impacts the character, it's not something that influences their motivations, and it's not something that permeates throughout, you know, their dialogue, the way that they hold themselves and act. It's just something that's there, something tacked on. And this, I think, is what the Loki thing is. Because he's been a character since 2011, and nobody in Disney and the branch Marvel was like, oh yeah, back in 2011, no one was like, oh, this guy's gay, you know, or there's this line that says he's gay where he has this relationship with. It's not something that was established, is what I'm trying to say. It's not something that was baked into the cake. It's a tacked on thing to capitalize on this era of pushing for representation for different groups. They're trying to pander so that people will watch their show. That's the only reason. It's not because it's authentically part of the character, and it's not something that will truthfully result in a representation. It's something that is just meant to sell publicity, almost. To sell publicity, sell the show and the streaming service as a whole. It's not something that's actually the character, which I think is more disrespectful than not having it at all. I think it's more disrespectful to inorganically utilize diversity than not having it at all. Reason why I say this is because if they don't have it at all, then they can't capitalize on it. They can't make money off of you and take your well wishes and your good intentions of wanting to expand the MCU or whatever superhero, the DCCU. Yeah. Oh gosh, I forgot what I was saying. No! No, I want to get real quick to sort of conclude this video with examples. Another example of what I think was bad, and then an example of something that I think is good, which I might, for the 4 people that are probably going to watch this, I might get some flack on it. Simply because I'm not entirely backing the idea. Whatever, I'll just get into it. So another example of bad diversity in superhero movies, and I'm going to extend this over to the Star Wars, is Lando Calrissian in Solo. Now, there was this big thing where all the people working in that Star Wars branch were like, Lando's pansexual. It's not in the film. I guess it's implied that he, you know, has relations with a robot, but it's really not something that was in the film, and it's not something that was established in, you know, Empire Strikes Back when Lando was first created. It's not something that was part of his character. And so, therefore, it's not something that was baked into the cake. It's a frosting. It's a tack-on. It's something that's meant to capitalize on a current trend as opposed to being an authentic, good, well-written character. That's what I want you guys to realize. I want diversity, but I want it to be a good character. I want it to be a well-written character. Because for me, having it just be an afterthought, having it be something that's tacked onto a character where it doesn't really make sense, that's not what I want for diversity. That's false diversity. Now, an example of good diversity, and again, I might catch flack for this, but this is just what I feel. Based off of, because I'm not a professional. I'm not a film reviewer. I don't go to school for this. I'm a finance major. I mean, you know, come on. I think, as much as I hate to say this, Tony from 13 Reasons Why. I know, I know. But the reason why I think is a good example of diversity in and I guess it's not a superhero film, it's just a TV show, a drama, is that it's part of his character. It's part of his character. And you could say, oh no, he doesn't show it often. It's only in choice scenes and it doesn't impact the narrative. I would say, yeah, it does. I'd say that his character is written to be secretive. His character is written to keep things from other people. And so the fact that he goes to such lengths to protect his identity is pretty relatable. I think that he's written in an authentic manner. It's organic. It influences decisions. You can see that. And it's not overblown. When you do have these scenes of him with his boyfriends, and that it's I'm trying to word this the correct way. It doesn't, I mean, it's not over the top gay. You know, it's like realistic, it's grounded in being just a good character, as opposed to the stereotypical gay where it's super flamboyant and not really believable. An example of that would be Kevin McDonald from Riverdale, someone that is just the stereotype of gay, as opposed to Tony, who is a complex character, and his sexuality it's an integral part to his character. I think that dynamic right there, Kevin McDonald versus Tony, I think it's pretty clear which one's the more well-written, diverse character. So I guess I didn't expect this to go over 10 minutes long, actually. I guess I had a little bit more to say. But that's just sort of my thoughts on it. I think that the false diversity that Disney is sort of pandering these days by saying, oh, this character is this character is that, I don't think that you should accept it. I think that if you guys want real diversity in films, specifically the superhero genre, you have to push for a well-written character first. You have to have them bake it into the cake of the character's identity, as opposed to having it be just a frosting on top. Don't be an afterthought, is what I'm trying to say. All right, thanks guys for listening. I appreciate it. Be sure to check out our other streams that we've got going, the stream of the Twitter, the Instagram, the Facebook. Please, I hate to add, you know what, whatever. If you guys want to like, rate, subscribe, do whatever you want. I appreciate you for listening. I'll catch you cats in the next one.